All right, guys, welcome back. So I 3D printed a clear um, coil housing as well as a black and red one and then a smaller black and red one. I'm going to make Bedini coils out of these. I think I talked about it in my last video where I'm going to do the twisted wire, the iron core. This is just going to be a regular coil. Um, and then, of course, I'm waiting on the acrylic to come in for this housing because I want to build its own housing. And it's taken forever for this acrylic to come in. I ordered it over a week ago. Usually it comes in pretty quick. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a wooden prototype just so I could set this up and then set the other one up and do the experiment I was talking about. And it has to do with magnetic gearing, but anti-gearing. That guy came out really nice. And I realized that I don't need 4 bearings on here because it's only using the 2 center bearings. So let me see if I can get a wooden housing set up for this, and I'll bring you guys back and show you. Stay tuned. So you know what really sucks about having a killer wood shop with every tool I could need for building a beautiful wooden prototype stand is my shop right now is set up for the electrical side of things, which means my table saw is covered up, my my miter saw is put away. The only thing I have real access to is my band saw. My shop is too small to have a wood shop and a pulse motor shop, if you will. I gotta figure something out. I have to figure something. Well, right now we got all this Christmas crap in here. I have to put it away. I put all that stuff up in the rafters up there. Anyway, let me see if I can. I've got the wood. Let me see if I can move some of this stuff out of the way and build a prototype for this guy. It shouldn't be too hard. Stay tuned. So I wanted to experiment with my maglev with this new circuit that I had gotten, and I figured out what burnt out. So I have a back EMF 1 and a back EMF 2. Right now it's hooked on the back EMF 2. What burnt out was the back EMF 1. And I don't know if it's just the entire circuit line or just the just the indicator. Wait a minute. Oh, come on. Oh, it's flopping all over the place because I don't have it. But the circuit itself is working great. The back EMF 2 is producing really well. Come on. Getting a little bit of a wobble on there, but not too bad. So I need to hook something up to the back EMF. Let me shut this off. Hook something up to the back EMF 1 to see if there's any output. But I'm glad the circuit itself is working great. At least for what I needed to do. What I'm really bummed is I think I burnt out the indicator. I think. Let me double check and bring you back. Stay tuned. Yeah, so I don't think it was the indicator. I think it's the back EMF 1, but I don't know exactly where it burnt out. because everything else works fine, but I'm getting no output out of the back EMF 1. Again, not a major issue. I'm thinking, could it be... I don't really know. I'd have to really look at... I don't think it's... It might have been the diode. It might have been this diode. But that looks like it's connected to the back EMF 2. But I'd have to turn it upside down and really trace it out. All I know is that the circuit itself works great. And the back EMF 2 works. The back EMF 1 doesn't work. And I think this guy was connected to the back EMF 1. I think. Again, this is a sky circuit, so I'm not privy to the actual build of it. I'd have to really take a look at it. Anyway, I wanted to just check it out to make sure that the circuit itself still worked. I'm pissed that I rushed to do it and didn't use it on a proper setup like what I have now with the maglev. Damn. I wonder if I could rewire this to back EMF 2. I'd have to take a look at it. Stay tuned. So now that I'm looking at it carefully, this is a rectifier. Oops. This is a rectifier right here. I'm wondering if that's what smoked on me, because I can't... Again, I don't see anything that is... Because everything leads to the back EMF 1 terminal, including this guy. And I don't think it smoked on me. I can pull it to the side like that. Oops. And take a look at it there, and everything seems to be okay. I'm looking at it underneath the magnifying glass. I don't know if that works with the camera. Focus. Anyway, I'm wondering if I could rewire this so that this guy is picking up the back EMF 2 output. But the way it looks under here, the back EMF 2 is just a straight shot. It's not, I don't think it's being rectified. Yeah, it might have been this rectifier. It wasn't the, that's awfully loose. It wasn't the cap here. At least I don't think it was, because usually the caps, when they blow out of the top here. And it wasn't these guys, because the system is still working fine. It's only the output on the number 1 versus the number 1 versus the number 2, which is over here. All right. Well, yeah, I'd have to probably consult Sky on that. I don't know if it was this little cap. It wasn't. It definitely came from this area when it did puff. God damn it. I wish I didn't screw around. Anyway, the circuit itself still works. It still functions as a hall sensor, which allows me to run maglev or basically all of my pulse motors if I choose to use this guy. But I'll have to consult with Sky to see what he thinks puffed out on me. Anyway, stay tuned. So here's something pretty interesting. It's been going for like 4 minutes. So I've got two magnets here. This was just a fluke. Uh, 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 uh. And of course, eventually it'll stall, but watch this. If I just go like that, and I barely pushed it. So this is an opposite pole to that. This is this is a like pole. This is an opposite pole. So it's being, yeah, it's really weird. I mean, of course, I don't believe in any of that stuff, but it was going for quite a while. See, look at, uh, 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 uh. Oh, anyway, I was just messing around with it while I was deciding not to build a wooden prototype out of wood. That I do have two pieces that I could build the top part of the stand, and then the bottom part of the stand I can either cannibalize one of my other pulse motors that I'm definitely not going to use anymore and make a base out of it. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. Stay tuned. So I was going to cannibalize this rotor, and this is the bad coil, the one that was all bent up. So I decided, let's just hook them together and see what we can get. There's something about this rotor that I like. I don't know what it is. I'm still going to cannibalize it, but there's just something about it that I like. So I took this funky coil and this funky rotor system, and then I actually have it down to like 7 volts. Yeah, 7 volts. And it's still producing a lot of output for such a janky setup. I have it really close to the coil. Got a solid output, no pulsing or anything. It's that good old JL94 circuit. Let's see how low we can get it to go. There's 6.8 volts. 6.1. 5, no, wait a minute. Yeah, there's 5.9. Let's get it down a little lower. There's 4.9. Still going good. Oops, jumped up to 5.1. There's 4.0, so 4 volts. And it's still going. 4 volts exactly. 20 milliamps. Not getting any output, of course, not with 4 volts. So let's see how high we can get it going. Now I'm getting output at 7 volts. There's 9 volts. Getting some good output with 9 volts. There's 13.5 volts. And she's flying now. A lot of output. Let me turn it off before it explodes and kills me. Oops. Yeah, so I was gonna, oops, sorry about that. Didn't mean to yell into the mic like that. I was just about to cannibalize this for this acrylic here, because it's a nice piece of acrylic. and I had to give it one more shot. I don't know if you guys remember, but these two wheels here, or rollers actually, were from the big solenoid motor back there behind the Ferris wheel motor, the orange and black one. They were a couple of extra prints from that. And then this, I just had these magnets, and I decided to just print out a couple of holders or spacers. Yeah, I really like this rotor. It's really simple, and I've used it a lot for testing. In fact, what I may do is I may leave this alone and use this for a test setup for different circuits. Nah, I'm going to cannibalize it. Stay tuned. So I decided to use a combination of wood and acrylic. Again, this is just temporary. I have a 24 by 12 inch sheet of this same acrylic. I think either 1/2 inch or 3/8, I forget, coming in where I can build a unit like that, but it'll be a little bit different. Anyway, stay tuned. So not too bad for a quick makeshift stand, so I don't have to cannibalize my other Ferris wheel. Yeah, it came out really nice, and I made sure to make the base wide enough to fit my largest coil. But what I forgot to do was to put the collets on the inside there, but I don't think it's going anywhere. At least it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. But yeah, those ceramic bearings work really nice. I'm not worried about the shaft sliding. It's a tight fit. What I should have done was made the holes much bigger and then 3D printed some collets that could fit snug on there and then go snug in the hole. Then I could take it on and off, but it'll work like this. So let's try a couple of circuits, see how it works. Stay tuned. So I made a couple of makeshift collets, basically a piece of round PLA cut in half, or a disc cut in half, or like a little cylinder, and then just glued to the shaft where it's touching the inner race. So it really can't go anywhere. And then I just put these on the outside just for a place to hold them, because I'm going to use these on the final version when I get the acrylic in. So yeah, not too bad, not too shabby. And it was funny because all the pieces here are cut-offs. So when I cut these were left over, and they just happen to fit perfect. And everything is glued except for the base down here. I put 3 screws into the wood through the acrylic just to keep it kind of sturdy. And it's pretty sturdy. I mean, it's not, not going to hold up a house, but all right, let's get it hooked up with something and get it going. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm testing some of these circuits that I have just lying around. This one doesn't seem to be working too well. I don't know if it's not close enough, or I just need to get a good, I mean, it's putting out a lot of output, but I'm not, yeah, it's slowing down. So I think there might be something wrong with this. So let me mark this one with a B for bad, or let me try it on a different setup and see. All right, hold tight. All right, so with this setup, it appears I really need to get the coil super close. This particular circuit is working fine, but it doesn't have any output. So it's really only good for a test. Let me set up another one. Stay tuned. So this one's got this one has an output, in the circuit, and it's really pumping it out. But again, I wonder if it's the position of the coil, the way it is. I wonder if I should have the coil going the long way. Because see, it's slowing down, and it's never done that before. But then again, I've not used this coil with this rotor. So let me try a different coil. Stay tuned. So the D coil is doing the same thing. Let me try. I mean, I'm getting tremendous output, but it's not catching like it normally does. I mean, it's working, but nowhere near what it would normally do. All right, let me try some more coils and some different circuits and see what's going on. Stay tuned. All right, so it must have been the circuits. A couple of those circuits were much earlier versions. I also turned the D coil the long way, but I don't think that had anything to do with it. Getting good output. So I need to try this circuit, which is one of the later ones, with my other really good coil and see how that works, because this is how it's supposed to work. A constant speed, not slowing down. Of course, I have a janky setup down here for that. I mean, come on. I think if I lift it up a little bit, it'll even go a little faster. But if I wanted to go fast, I could just turn up the voltage. Right now I'm at 12 volts. But yeah, the stand is working good. That's the main thing. I was really curious why these earlier ones weren't cutting it. I think these were meant for the solenoid motor, because I was meant to use these in parallel for the 3 different coils. I think that's what it might have been. But yeah, working good. Not even optimal either, because I've got such a all right, stop, guys. That's the charger for my wannabe Makitas. These are Makita knockoffs, but they work, and they work good for the glue gun. All right, he's going good. I want to try a Hall circuit on one of these. First, I want to put my bigger coil on there. And if I'm going to do the Hall circuit, I need to mount everything down so it doesn't flop around. All right, let me turn this off. Stay tuned for hopefully not a disaster. Yeah, so with this particular rotor and with the Hall, I mean with the JL94, I really have to get the coil close to it with this rotor setup. Of course, this is a beautiful coil, but as you can see, it's working great. Yeah, 12.6 volts. Working really well. So yeah, with this particular rotor, the Ferris wheel rotor, I guess we're calling it, and set up the way it is, I have to get the coil really close to it, like that one there. I wonder what would happen if I were to put a Bedini coil there with a JL94 circuit with the iron core, or would that overwhelm the capacitor? I don't know. Everything stays nice and cool, and even with the output, the the neons are still lighting. So I'm getting a lot of output here. But yeah, that's the way it should run. Runs beautiful. Got a little bit of a wobble on there. Not too bad. I don't know if it's because of the way the bearings are set in there. Maybe they're not set perfectly flat, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Little zen moment there. Running good. I still, like I said, I want to try this with a hall sensor, but in order to do that, I got to get everything nailed down. All right, let me set that up. Stay tuned. Yeah, as expected, it's working great with the hall sensor and my good coil. In fact, it's flying so much I can feel a wind coming off of it. Really good output. Everything on the circuit is staying nice and cool. Yeah. All sensors working freaking great. In fact, it's picking up speed. And I'm getting a solid output here. On the camera, it's blinking, but yeah, I can feel a breeze coming off this thing. Thank God the magnets are facing in such a way where there's no possible way they can come flying off. Unless, of course, they break out of the whole system, which they could, so maybe I should step over here. Yeah, that is freaking gorgeous. Not bad for a prototype stand either. Stand is not too bad. So tomorrow I'm going to show you guys what I wanted to show you with the two Ferris wheel motors working together. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Ciao.